This is my journey towards growing tropical fruit trees in Zone 5, where temperatures below minus 30 degrees Celsius are not uncommon during winter. Call me crazy, but hey, why not? There are actually 4 challenges that I need to overcome. Obviously, the cold climate is a top one, but I also have to deal with a small garden, poor soil, and pests. In order to deal with the cold climate, I started by planting cold-hardy fruit trees like apple and pear trees. For less cold-hardy trees like cherry and peach trees, the temperature is often not the main issue. The cold wind during the winter is often the real killer. For tropical fruit trees, the wind in the summer can damage the big leaves that developed over the winter indoors under low light conditions. So actually, the first trees that I planted were cedar trees a few years ago in a hedge around my garden. A hedge acts as a windbreaker and helps maintain a microclimate. Next challenge on the list is limited space. A hedge around the garden will further reduce the available space to grow fruit trees, but the flip side is that the smaller the area, the easier it is to maintain a microclimate. Selection of fruit trees on dwarfing rootstocks can help maximize the available space. Planting multiple trees in the same hole can also be done, especially for trees that require different cultivars for pollination. Selecting self-fertile cultivars, if they are available, is also another option. With limited space, even more attention needs to be put in observing how the light of the sun hits the garden at various times during the day. Some fruit trees need at least 6 to 8 hours of full sun every day. After selecting the rootstocks of my fruit trees and deciding where to plant them, I like to check what the projected shadows of the trees will be like with a stick at the expected height. Poor soil can be a combination of factors, including the composition of the soil, the presence of big trees and their roots, and other things that can be found during digging, especially in an urban or suburban area. I have a heavy compacted clay soil and big maple trees around. Again here, there is a flip side. Clay soil is actually a rich soil. Big trees are more able to go deeper and extract the nutrients from the soil and convert them into biomass, which can in turn be used by less mature trees or for composting purposes. I like to dig the hole wide and deep. If the root is not too big, I cut it. I often go 2 feet deep to make sure that there is nothing below that will prevent the tree from developing a straight taproot, especially for my saplings grown from seed. I loosen the clay soil in the hole or in a pot, and I like to add a little bit of the soil from my raised beds, which is often sandy and rich in organic matter. No compost or fertilizer. The idea is to give a sufficient head start to the young fruit tree while encouraging its roots to explore wide and deep beyond the initial hole. Trees can be ordered online potted or bare root. My order here contains both. For bare root trees, I try to spread the roots evenly in the hole. If the tree has a taproot, I try to have it deep and straight before backfilling. I prefer to plant the tree high, as they often gradually settle lower after the rain. The soil level should be at the root flare. For grafted fruit trees, this should be well below the graft point. Because fruit trees are often planted in full sun, mulching is even more critical to maintain moisture for the roots of the young trees. I avoid volcano mulching, as this can lead to root girdling around the trunk of the tree. Instead, I make a mound around the tree and I add the mulch after. Next challenge is to deal with pests. Selecting disease-resistant cultivars is key. For example, some stone fruit tree cultivars are resistant to leaf curl. There are apple cultivars that are resistant to fire blight and cedar rust. In my area, squirrels and rabbits are also a problem. The most effective way to deal with them is to build a physical barrier around the tree. The cage should allow you to work on the tree during the summertime. I also like to be able to easily increase the height of the cage above the snow cover in the wintertime. That is why some of the poles are taller than needed. One important step I like to follow right after planting a fruit tree is to prune it. There are two reasons for that. The first reason mainly applies to bareroot fruit trees. These trees lost a significant part of their root system and will struggle to sustain the same foliage volume. They should be pruned right away after planting, even if it is not the best time to do it. The second reason applies to all fruit trees sold by nurseries or big box stores. The shape and size need to be managed. The sooner, the better. When I am unsure, I like to go step by step. For this apricot tree, I start by reducing its size. Then I figure out which branch to keep to have an open vase shape with only 3 to 5 main branches. The height of the central cut should take into account the situation of the tree in the garden. For example, with my nectarine tree here, in the back of the garden on the north side, I made the main cut higher to make sure that it will get ample sunlight throughout the day and to make sure that there will be room for me to walk around it. Some trees, like apple trees, have a more upright growth pattern. A central leader structure works better with them. Hey, if you found this video useful or interesting, please like and subscribe.